Hey guys, Morgan's Maintenance, episode 31 of Guess the Trade. Episode 30 was a reload episode, so we don't have any kind of answers to give as far as what was it that somebody did with tools in episode 30. We looked at Lockhammer's workbench along with his garage setup, and then a Milwaukee packout door install kit. And then we looked at also Rocky O's DeWalt Tough Stack or Tough Cases. I can't remember exactly what you call those, T-Stack. And all the tools that he had within some of those. Really great loadouts. If you haven't checked those out, you might want to go look at that. Episode 31 is going to be a Guess the Trade episode. So today we're going to look at Justin Richards. If you look at his username, it says Justin Spackable. I always thought it said Justin Sparkable. That's how I've read it every time I've looked at it. But we're going to look at his loadout. I'm only going to look at one today, and the reason is because the other loadout that I have for the Guess the Trade has a lot of pictures, and Justin's got quite a few as well, and I thought it'd be too long of an episode, so I'm going to split it up. And then also I'm running a little bit low on the Guess the Trade entries. I've got some reloads coming as well, but we're going to look at his today. We're going to see what it is that we see within his bags and his setup. He has a Veto Tech Pack along with a Milwaukee packout, like a bag, and then also some EDC stuff that we're going to look at as well. So let's go ahead and jump into his tools and see if we can guess what it is that he does. So we jump in his first picture. You can see he's got that Veto Pro Pack, Tech Pack. I know most people, this is probably their most popular bag if I had to guess, because I see these all the time. You know, with people that work on job sites, to have backpacks, especially people who go up and down ladders. It carries a lot of tools. You know, there's a lot of good things about it, but sometimes they can get heavy. I'm sure, again, I don't have one, but there's the outside of his bag, and he doesn't kind of show the tools in the bag. We're going to swap right over to this is his entire tool setup that's within that bag, and the next few pictures he's going to zoom in quadrants. So this is, again, just an overview of it. If you want to look at them all right there, if you want to pause and zoom in on different things, you can. But I'm going to go ahead and scroll on to the next picture because we're going to see all these tools a little bit closer up. So here's the bottom, looks like bottom right corner that we're going to start at. He's got the Milwaukee like dead blow style hammer. Also the Milwaukee framing hammer, it looks like. I don't have either one of those. I'm sure they're both pretty good. I wish Milwaukee's got a really small hammer, short hammer that would probably fit in a lot of tool bags, but for whatever reason it doesn't have the straight claw. It's got a curved claw. I'd like to see one. You know, that's kind of why I bought the Weehaw electrician's hammer. So he's also got the T5600 right there, the fork meter, along with it's got voltage, current, and then also looks like continuity in ohms. So that's what it has on there. He's also got the Fluke A1C2 non-contact voltage tester right there. Let's see, an HD multi-scanner. I'm not sure what the brand on that is. It almost looks like a Zircon or something. That's probably what that is. Bosch laser distance measure, the GLM20, a Milwaukee headlamp there. Also a pair of Milwaukee snips, and it looks like his tag for all his stuff is Roman numeral 3, or that's just a fancy way he's doing some sort of initials, but I've noticed that on all these as well. He's got a Klein bag up there. I've got those. That's that made in the USA. Those were limited edition. I really like those. I'm glad I bought them whenever I did because I can't hardly find them anymore. Also has a 3 sets of hex keys right there. Looks like SAE. He's also got some Klein ones that looks like he uses those Klein ones a lot more than Milwaukee's, and then he's got a foldable set there as well. Let's see. Let me see what the next picture looks like. Yeah, so we'll get over here. We're back on this side. So he's got the Olight Pro right there. Our Arc Field Pro. It's got the green laser, the UV, and then also the flashlight. The Klein Level. Also has Knipex 2 pairs of lineman pliers. One's with the crimper, one without. Looks like he also likes the comfort handle on the Knipex. Also has a pair of Cobras. Those are the 250s. Forge wire strippers, cobalt cutters. He's got some South wire strippers right there. Those are the kind where you can kind of stick them in the box and get to the wire if you need to. So those are handy to have. And I think they also strip, yeah, it's got Romex on there. So I think those also strip the sheathing. I've not had that pair, so I'm interested, Justin, in what your feedback is on those. I like the self-adjusting one for the sheathing. The one that I've had a review for, I had the Milwaukee and the Klein, and my buddy bought, I think he bought the Milwaukee, or I bought the Milwaukee, he bought the Klein because the Milwaukee was out, and then he wanted the Milwaukee, so I've got the Klein ones. He let me film both of them, and I told him, I said, you can keep whichever one of the two you want. So I think he ended up taking the Milwaukee ones. I've got the Klein ones, but that's kind of a little bit different setup. I still don't like the Romex cutters that are Klein, that are the yellow handles that look like a pair of strippers like these right here. Again, that's not what these are, but it looks like these, that kind of style. I've always had problems with it kind of nicking the wire a little bit, so you got to be really careful. I mean, you can do it without nicking the wire, but if I just grab it intuitively, squeeze on it, pull off the sheathing, sometimes, especially my 14 gauge wire, it's real, you can almost bend it a couple times and it'll break off. I've had that happen to me, so that's kind of led me to not use it. So I'm interested in your experience on those south wires. But getting back into it, he's also got a Milwaukee stubby right there, holds some bits, a slotted Klein screwdriver. He's also got the Veto electric right there. Man, I love that screwdriver. I can't say enough about that. The Milwaukee made in the USA diagonals. I've wanted to buy a pair of them so bad just because I love the look of the head of them. I like the look of it, but my Knipex ones and my Klein ones work so well, and I've got so many pairs that I just haven't bought them. He's also got the Milwaukee made in the USA screwdrivers right there. So he's got a Phillips number 2, it looks like. Also 2 different slotteds. And then a long cabinet one or a long slotted. I'm going to go back and go to the next picture. Yeah, so we're over here where we can zoom in on these now. I'm not sure what that screwdriver there is. I'm not sure what brand that one is there. Doesn't look familiar to me. I'm not a big fan of the Milwaukee screwdriver handles. They're not bad screwdrivers. So I mean, if you like the handle, then they'd be fine for you. There's just something about their handle. I don't like the feel of it, which again, I more prefer the ball grip now over, you know, even Klein handles and things like that. But I like the grip on a Klein handle better than I like the Milwaukee one. So I would probably always choose Klein screwdrivers over Milwaukee. But again, that's just a personal preference for me. I've used Klein screwdrivers a long time. It's just a, you know, you're just used to using it type thing. So I think that's why I've got that. Getting back into it, he's got several Husky, looks like box wrenches right here. I think it was Matt HMM and 2 or 3 other people during the video of where I've had some videos of different versions of these have said that the Huskies are the ones that they like the best. I'm going to go to the next picture and see if he goes up. He does. So over here we got the Vera bit holding screwdriver along with a couple long extendable bit holders. He's got the Klein made in the USA slotted screwdriver. I'm curious, Justin, on the made in the USA screwdriver of that. I've got both of those here too. And the Phillips, I didn't like the Phillips number 2 that well, so you don't have it in your package, so, or in your loadout. You've only got the slotted, so I'm wondering if you didn't like the Phillips number 2. I didn't get a very good grip, you know, on screws with that one, so I tended not to use it very often. So maybe I'm just curious if you had the same experience and that's why it's not here as well, or maybe I'm going to see it here in a minute. But he has that, and then he also has a Klein Phillips and then a Klein slotted there, a pair of Klein needle nose. Let's see if we can see what's in this box. I don't see anything at the moment. He's also got a set of Wera Jokers, it looks like, the Knipex pipe cutter, a Klein reamer right there, several hand files. He's also got, it looks like, probably the 3/8 set, I think, or no, that might be the 1/4 inch set since it's got some bits in it as far as the mod box set with the pass-through sockets. He's also got a Klein Tools notebook. I really like that. I haven't seen that before. Let's see what the next picture has. Yeah, so it's pretty interesting. I'd like to know, let me know where you got that one at, Justin. I'm curious if that's still something that's available. Also, he has a Milwaukee bag up here as well. I think we've seen everything else here. Maybe see if I can zoom in and see what those, I don't know if it's Klein or metric or their SAE, and he just bought the Milwaukee's new. But like I said, you can tell he's used those Kleins a whole lot more. See, next picture. So now we're getting into the Milwaukee packout. So that was all of his tools again in his tech pack. This is one of those packout. It's either like a, I think they have a 15 inch and a 20 inch. This one might be the 15 inch. So I believe that this is something that's maybe, he sent me a message. I think he said this might be stuff that he keeps in his pants. So we've got also another pair of hex keys, grip it. Let's see, seeing if I could see, they're inch, so they are SAE, it looks like. Also the Klein tester, love that tester right there. pair of Klein Tool strippers. Again, I know that pair there is a favorite of a lot of people. I like the forged wire strippers better. I don't tend to use these smaller strippers much. Also a dismantling knife, and then a MC cable cutter. I think I've got the Klein version. Mine's either Klein or Southwire. I haven't bought the Milwaukee one. Mine's been working great. I want to say mine's the Southwire, I believe is what mine is. I've tried the Klein and the Southwire. Both of them work pretty much the same to me, and I'm sure the Milwaukee does well, but you can let me know your feedback, Justin, on the Milwaukee one, just in case something happens to mine. I got to go buy a new one. Let me know if you like it or not. Next picture, again, these are what's inside of, again, that Milwaukee packout, I'm assuming. So he's got the M12 oscillating tool, the fuel version, also the M12 fuel bandsaw. That's on my list of things. If I can catch a deal on it, I want to pick that up. I've got the original non-fuel version. Also has the M12 hammer drill, the M12 older style impact, and then also the newer style impact as well. So 2 impacts along with the hammer drill, and then he's got that M12 cable stapler that I recently did a review for and picked up on Deal of the Day on Home Depot, and I feel like that is awesome. Like I said, if you are an electrician and you're constantly using staples, I feel like it would be a must-have tool. Like if you're doing it day in and day out, without a question. And then again, if you do it enough and you just want your job to be easier, I feel like it's a great tool as well. So you can let us know what you feel about it, Justin. I believe you've told me, but you can drop that in the comments below if you want to as well. So we'll go to the next picture, and here's a ton of Milwaukee hoodies. So that would lead me to think, and they're all heated hoodies, so he must work somewhere that is fairly cold, I would think. But he's got black, red, kind of that green color that's like the army style green, a couple of yellow ones. Of course, some job sites, you know, you've got to wear fluorescent stuff, gray and black. So he's basically bought every version of them, whatever he could. Here's another one that's Milwaukee. I believe he told me he wishes that they kept the Milwaukee logo on them. He said they don't really put it on them anymore, and I believe that was on the hood right there. So that's why I remember that in his notes from his pictures. So there's another one there. He's got a couple more just Milwaukee hoodies. And in my opinion, Milwaukee makes pretty good sweatshirts. And if you can catch them on deal, like Deal of the Day, like I had one the other day that I mentioned in that live video of some tools that are some deals that I got on clearance and things like that. They tend to fit a little bit big. So if you buy one, like if you normally wear extra large, you might want to try a large. Mine have been anyways. Every one of them, because whenever I bought some extra larges, man, I mean, they just absolutely swallowed me. So you might want to take it in consideration. Maybe go to the store, try one on, and then if you find a deal online for Deal of the Day or something like that, you can easily pick one up. So I really like Milwaukee sweatshirts, but he's got several of them there. Next picture. So here is his belt and some of the things that he wears on his belt. So he's got 3 Holstery Magmasters. It looks like one of the newer versions and 2 of the olders. Also has this here, I think that's a tape measure holder possibly. I think that's what you would use that for. You put it around your belt and you can clip your tape in it. Could be for something else. I've seen people put tape measures on it, but he might be using it for something else. Again, he's got his Olight Arcfeld Pro, his Milwaukee Fastback, an Inksaw, and then a Pica 3030. All things there that I feel like are pretty much necessities to have on you all the time. And here's the belt. You can see how it latches together there. He's showing you that. I'm not sure what the brand is on that belt. In case people are interested, you might want to drop that down below, Justin. And that's his last picture. There's his name there. So again, here is his belt. Some of his EDC stuff. He obviously must work somewhere that gets fairly cold, I would think, to have all those. There's his power tools that he tends to carry. And I think as you see those, you know, you see that tool along with that tool. That should help you in your guessing. Again, all these tools should get you in the general area. And then you get over into here. There's here's what all is in his Veto Tech Pack. So there's his tools. I'll get back to that last picture that has them all right there. But after you look at those tools, take a guess at what it is you think Justin does with those tools. Maybe you've got questions for him about a tool. Drop that in the comments below as well. I think I've got a pretty good idea what he does, so I'm not going to guess on this one. And since I think it's so easy, again, you might want to think about, I know he's this, but I think he does more so of this type of work within that field. Again, commercial, residential, industrial, service work, this specific set of things within that field. Any of those kind of things, you can guess that if you want to as well. As always, I hope you get something good out of this video. I hope it's interesting if nothing else, but you guys stay safe. Have a blessed day. See you on the next video.